Shalom. We've learned that when an orphan cries out to God and has been insulted, hurt, offended by somebody, that God immediately answers their prayer. That the orphan's prayer to that they've been hurt is so effective that God answers it immediately and punishes the offender. What is it that makes the orphan so sensitive? In fact, or not, sorry, not that what makes the orphan so sensitive, but what makes it that the orphan's prayer is so effective that God will answer it right away? The law of how careful we have to be with orphans extends insofar even to teachers. Teachers in the classroom, according to the Torah, are allowed to use corporal punishment. They're allowed to hit their students. Yet a teacher is warned to be very careful if they have a student that's an orphan, because a student that's an orphan, if you offend them, even if you think it's educationally best for that orphan, if you've offended them and the student cries out, this orphan student cries out to God, God will punish the teacher. So teachers that have orphans in their class have to be especially careful of that orphan's feelings. So again, I ask, why is it that the Torah is so careful with the feelings of the orphan? And the answer is because another student, another child that's an orphan, that is offended by their teacher, offended by their friends, offended by an adult that takes advantage of them, they can't go home and talk to their parents, and their parents would act as an advocate for them. They're all alone. They have no one to speak up for them. A student is falsely accused in class by a teacher of doing something wrong. The student can go home and talk to their parents, and the parents can call the teacher or the principal and act as an advocate for the child. But who acts as the advocate for the orphan? Who does the orphan turn to? The orphan feels all alone. They have no one to turn to. So God becomes their advocate. And when the orphan turns to God, God stands up for them and punishes the offender. This idea, this concept of how careful God is with the orphan speaks to the sensitivity of the Torah. And it tells us how blessed and privileged we are with a system of the Torah of wisdom that looks out for the lowliest of society, for the orphan that really has no one to speak for them. We should feel privileged. We should feel blessed. We should feel fortunate that we are a part of that system that looks out for those that are needy. Those are your daily words of inspiration. Shalom.